What up, guys? Tommy Kane back. Vile Maxim. I just went live for almost a couple of hours ago, just a few minutes ago. And now we're back. We're back again because I thought I was going to be able to go and enjoy my night tonight. But breaking news. Trump says what dems have been saying all along. You know, it's kind of funny because it's like I'm sitting there and I'm going, you know, I remember when Trump and Musk first started feuding, right? I remember everybody that was on the left was like, Trump's in the Epstein files, right? And then MAGA was like, no, that's not Trump. No, that's just the liberals and Hollywood people and all that. Trump's innocent. He didn't have it. And they just never believed it, right? And then Elon Musk, or we would say things like Elon's getting all these subsidies from the United States government. All of his companies were started with subsidies. And everybody was like, nah, that's, you know, MAGA people were like, yeah, that's not, he's a genius. He started his company, like all this stuff, right? And then Trump and Elon start fighting. And the first thing that Trump says to Elon is, oh, well, maybe the biggest expense to our federal government is all the subsidies we're giving Elon. Maybe we should get rid of those. Not sure why Biden didn't do that. And then all of a sudden in response, Elon's like, oh, by the way, Trump, he's like, by the way, Trump is in the Epstein files and that's why they haven't released him. Have a nice day, Trump. Further reinforcing what people on the left have been saying the whole time. Now, every single time, just in the video I just did, literally that I just got off of half an hour ago, I had somebody come in and argue with me, or try to, that, what are you, for immigration, or you're for illegals rather, you're for illegal people living in the United States, like, they're undocumented, you're for that, you support that. And I tried to explain to him, like, look, I just don't think it's right that, we have these farmers and we have these people that are working, these people that have been working at the same restaurant for 15, 20 years and yada, and all this stuff. And it's like, and what we're doing is just so ridiculous and it's hurting America. It hurts American companies. It hurts the economy. It just doesn't make any sense. And MAGA people are just like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a radical leftist and all this shit. And, and so now Donald Trump comes out to confirm what people have been saying the whole time. Unbelievable. Listen. What made you change? And I knew that was going to happen. Hold on one second. Is this not working? It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh boy, here we go. Might be an audio. I just messed with the settings a minute ago, so now it's going to do crap. Oh, there it goes. That's why. I got it.
Targeting in California.
The targeting in California, he says. Let's try to get this as loud as possible. It's not very loud, and I don't know why. I'll try to turn it up a little bit louder.
Farmers. What made you change your mind about targeting in California farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business?
Well, we're not targeting. In fact, if you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but
he says we're not targeting, but our farmers are being very hurt badly by, and then doesn't finish the sentence. Being hurt badly by what? Oh my goodness. I don't believe this. I didn't even have my camera turned on. Jesus. I'm telling you, today's such a crazy day, and I'm trying to cover everything, that everything's just going haywire. Nothing's working. Everything's, oh my God. I'm all right. I'm live, guys. Sorry. Here I am. So, this is unbelievable. Trump, we know, has been targeting restaurants, business owners, hotels. I mean, dude, I've seen footage in LA. I've witnessed, I live here, going into buildings like warehouses, all kinds of stuff, just grabbing people at work. And that's what the left has been complaining about. That's what people on the left have been saying is like, whoa, there are people that have been here 15, 20, 25 years that have worked at the same business. They have families. They work for these companies. They're the reasons why your blueberries are cheap. They're the reason why your cabbage is or your oranges or whatever the hell, your grapes are cheap. What are you doing? That's exactly what we've been saying. But everyone's like, oh, so you're cool with all these illegals living here and blah, 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 blah. No, we just wanted to stick up for these people that have been here forever and also not hurt the economy. The $90 billion we get in taxes from illegal immigrants and the $500 billion we get in our American GDP from their consumption. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of a benefit. And so that's kind of what we were saying. But once again, and this is what's so weird about MAGA people, this is what drives me insane about them, is that they will somehow get a little cognitive dissonance from this and then be like, well, Trump is right, man. Trump is right. Even though they've been arguing with us for the last week and a half that that we're wrong for saying the same thing Trump is saying right now. Oh, it's so crazy.
A statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening?
This is crazy.
Some of the people, because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think.
How are they going to hire the criminal immigrants to replace the good immigrants if you are getting rid of the criminals? Do you see how all of this is so cockamamie and doesn't make any sense? If you're getting rid of the criminals, if you're getting rid of them, how are the good... So you're saying we're getting rid of criminals. However, we've also been deporting good people that have been here forever. But we got to make sure we got to stop doing that, because what's happening is, and what will happen if we do that, is that they'll be forced to hire the criminals that we already got rid of. I don't understand. Isn't getting rid of the criminals your priority? How could they hire the criminals, the criminal immigrants, if you've already gotten rid of them? There is so much to unpack here. It's not even funny.
We can't do that to our farmers, and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
He's going to have to use a lot of common sense on that. Wow. This guy just went on television and told the world that it is common sense to do what Democrats have been yelling about in his face since he got elected. And now, his people, his MAGA following, is what? Going to be like, how are they going to react? I just spent my last live video arguing with somebody who was adamant that it didn't matter that they were here for 15 to 20 years and that they need to be gone. So if that's the case, is he going to be mad that Trump just said this? What do you think? You think that guy that argued with me about that is going to be mad that Trump just changed his mind on the national, on the global stage? Or do you think he's going to be like, oh man, I can't support Trump anymore. I thought you were going to get rid of these people. Or do you think all of a sudden he's going to be like, well, no, it makes sense, man. I can't even with this administration. I just can't, man. His entire MO is to go in with these sweeping eliminations, ICE raids, firing entire department, dismantling entire departments without thinking it through. Him and Elon. You could actually replace that statement with Elon Musk and it would still make sense. Birds of a feather. Anyways, crazy. Donald Trump announces that we are going to change our immigration policy and that we are not going to deport the undocumented people who have been working here for years at restaurants, farms, leisure, hotels. Unbelievable. The very thing that we have been shouting, and MAGA has been screaming at us that we were wrong, and now their own leader is telling them the same thing. I don't know anymore. I don't know what else to say, folks. I mean, I'm glad he's doing this. I don't know exactly how he's going to work it out. Honestly, I mean, I don't even think Trump was the reason, if you really want to know the truth, why this insane immigration crap was happening. I don't even think it was Trump that was to blame, to be completely honest. I think it was Stephen Miller. I think Stephen Miller is insane. I think he's an absolute crazy Voldemort-like villain from Harry Potter that is in our White House government, and he needs to be expunged. I think he's actually made Trump look bad more times than anything. Now, for those of you who do not like Trump, you're right to believe, or you're right to assert that he's the leader, he's the president, and that he should know more and that he shouldn't just listen to anybody and make rash decisions. You are absolutely correct to make that assertion. But I'm just pointing out Stephen Miller is very bad, and he's made Trump look atrocious. And MAGA and the people who support Trump and Trump himself needs to start turning on this idiot. Because Trump gets this phone call from people and they tell him, hey man, our hotels, our businesses, our farms, you can't do this. And this is the first he's hearing it. This is the first he's hearing this like it's new. Someone finally told him this. Why didn't anybody on his team tell him? Or in his administration? Nobody said anything? It's probably because the backlash to how Senator Padilla was treated today. He needs to be the good guy again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's very good at going back and forth. He really, really is. He's so good at that. Let me look at your other comment. Because his entire MO is to go with these sweeping eliminations. Oh, yeah, that's right. I read that. Oh, please, Tommy, whether it's Stephen Miller or not, Trump is supposed to be the president. I knew you were going to say that. That's why I said that. Yeah, I'm not giving him a pass. I am not giving Trump a pass, okay? I know a cult leader when I see one, and I know a megalomaniac when I see one, and believe me, I'm not giving him a pass. But what I could say for sure is that there are some people that are close to him, I guess, that reach out to him, that get in his ear somehow, and some of these people need to tell him to get Stephen Miller off that fucking administration immediately. Absolutely immediately, because he's crazier than Donald Trump and J.D. Vance combined. And that's really all I got to say. But Trump changed his mind, folks. Breaking news. Anyways, once again, please like the videos. Please subscribe. I just had like over 350 people in my last live video and nobody subbed. Nobody. So like if you're somebody new, you're watching this, please just give it a sub. I plan on doing this daily and reporting on this every day. I'm not going anywhere. So it'd be nice if you could help me out with a sub. All right. Thanks, guys. I really